Coming up, a decision has been made. Will Fargo Mayor Tim Mahoney be allowed to run again? A Moorhead man charged in the January 6th insurrection, plus the latest on the deadly Astro World concert. Valley News Live at 10 starts right now.
This is Valley News Live at 10.
Good evening, everyone. We begin with breaking news. Fargo Mayor Tim Mahoney could be on the ballot again in June 2022. That's when his current term expires. Today, a judge filed an order allowing that to happen. Fargo City Attorney had previously said Mahoney was not eligible to run based on city code. More breaking news this evening. Some changes to Fargo Public Schools masking policy. Masking will continue in school buildings during school hours. But the superintendent now says masks will no longer be required during non-instructional hours and in district facilities that are not schools. Masking has been a hot topic, spurring protests in the district since the school year began. Changes in our weather begin tomorrow. Chief Meteorologist Hutch Johnson joins us now with a first look. Hutch?
Stacey, thanks so much. Indeed, it does begin tomorrow, and in fact, an update from last night. Now, we talked yesterday about that Saturday system that was going to follow on the heels of this one. We've now added another first alert weather day for that system beginning Saturday late, and the Thursday-Friday system still looks to be on track to provide plenty of wintry woes across the region. It all begins Thursday morning up north, spreads southward throughout the day, and Thursday's system comes with quite a bit of wind. We do have some question marks in it. We'll go over those in a second, but lasts into Friday in the early half of the day, exiting in the afternoon with the north winds and snow continue. You're going to have some travel impacts late Thursday night, particularly up north. Then on Friday morning, more widespread impacts with the system as it continues. A little break Friday night and into Saturday morning. Then late Saturday and into Sunday morning, an Alberta clipper travels through, and it could deliver some snow to areas that got missed by the first round Thursday night into Friday morning. So a couple of rounds of snow. The first round shows snow in the Northern Valley and into Minnesota. Here's the Red River Valley. That next round could be making its way through parts of North Dakota. However, that second system still could have some shift in the track of the storm. Stacey, coming up in a minute, we'll go over the hour-by-hour details of this. Just know that it's time to start preparing for big changes. And by the mid-morning hours, we'll be seeing rain moving in tomorrow. And that'll be the sign that the change is indeed on its way.
All right, we'll be ready. Thanks, Hutch.
You bet.
New tonight at 10, the man accused of beating an 11-year-old boy to death is taking his case to trial. 56-year-old Reggie Bethel will see his day in court January 19th. That charge stems from an incident in Fergus Falls back in July. Court documents say he told police the boy had fallen, but doctors said the child's injuries didn't match up with that story. The 11-year-old was airlifted to a Fargo hospital where it was discovered he had a traumatic brain injury. He died a week later. Charges have been filed against the man accused of shooting a man in the head yesterday in Red Lake County. Oliver Berhar is facing charges of felony assault with a dangerous weapon. The 31-year-old victim remains in critical condition. Clients of Glosser Images waiting on their pictures may know more information soon. Jack Glosser will be in court tomorrow morning. Hundreds of complaints have been filed against the company after their abrupt closing left many clients without a photographer and many photographers without a check. Atlanta-based vendor Shot Proof says it's stepping in to deliver images to families before the end of this year, but they're now saying some may take longer. A Moorhead man was charged today for his participation in the January 6th insurrection on the Capitol. 32-year-old Jordan Stotts previously pleaded guilty to a single count of parading, demonstrating, or picketing in a Capitol building. According to the criminal complaint, Stotts was originally charged with 4 counts, but as part of the plea agreement, his other 3 charges were dismissed. A former classmate identified Stotts to the FBI after he posted about the insurrection on his Facebook page. Meanwhile, more members of the Trump White House were subpoenaed today by the committee investigating the insurrection. In total, now 10 people are being asked to hand over documents by November 23rd. Democratic Representative Benny Thompson says officials need to know what possible role then President Donald Trump and his aides may have had in the effort to overturn the 2020 election. New information on the man accused of an armed robbery at a Casey's gas station in South Fargo yesterday. 26-year-old Tyler Hendrickson is charged with 1 count of felony robbery with a firearm. Court documents say he made off with $215 and a carton of cigarettes. Documents say Hendrickson admitted to the robbery as a way to fuel his drug habit. He'll be in court tomorrow. Valley News Live is following updates in the deadly crowd surge at Houston's Astro World Festival. Isabel Rosales reports as investigators look into exactly what caused the death of 8 people.
Intense scrutiny over the deadly Astro World Festival.
They were on the ground and basically getting trampled, and no one would pick them up.
Rapper Travis Scott and those behind promoting and planning the event under the microscope, accused of not doing enough to prevent or react to the crowd surge.
The way the barricades were set up had people trapped in, and it was a death trap.
The medical examiner's office says it could take several weeks to determine the cause of death for the 8 victims.
Many people want to shed blame, but it's really too early.
Scott says he will pay for the funeral costs of the victims. 3 people remain hospitalized, including a 9-year-old boy. His family says he's in a medically induced coma.
A 9-year-old child had a heart attack because he was being trampled so severely.
Lawsuits continue to stack up, at least 18 filed since Friday.
This should have been stopped from the very beginning, and what we know for sure is that Travis Scott continued to perform.
Scott maintains he had no idea the extent of what was happening in the crowd. Fellow performer Drake posted Monday, "My heart is broken for the families and friends of those who lost their lives and for anyone who is suffering." Meanwhile, according to the Wall Street Journal, people familiar with the investigation said investigators are looking into whether a batch of counterfeit pills, possibly laced with fentanyl, played a role in some of the deaths. Authorities have been reached out to for comment. I'm Isabel Rosales reporting.
Motion sensor lights and 7 security cameras weren't enough to stop this thief. Paul Carter says his pickup truck was broken into Saturday night and the crook took off with $600 worth of hunting gear.
It was literally just went into the truck, went in the driver's side door, grabbed the stuff, got out, went on their merry way.
The homeowner is urging everyone to lock their vehicles. After nearly 2 hours of debate, the North Dakota State House has approved a redistricting map with a controversial attachment to subdivisions. To subdivide means a legislative district is split in half and each side selects 1 member of the House rather than the whole district selecting 2. Tribal nations requested them because they felt their candidates don't get a fair shake in elections. There was heavy opposition, especially from the House member whose district is being split. The bill now goes to the Senate. Still ahead tonight, a story that'll warm your heart. We'll show you what a group of daycare kids say is the best part of their day.
Temperatures today on this Tuesday were quite toasty. Southern Valley, look at that, nearly 60 degrees in Fergus Falls. We can wave goodbye to that as a wintry stretch of weather heads our way. We have 3, count them, 1, 2, 3 first alert weather days before the weekend is done. I'll have details next.